Get on your knees, boy. That's the first thing I heard when I turned the corner. 3 uniforms white guys closing in on me like I just crawled out of a window with a bag of cash. One already had his knee digging into my back, grinding my face against the marble floor. I told them I had identification, but the one in charge just barked, "Shut it. Hands where we can see them." They didn't know me. And that was the point. See, I wasn't some random guy in a suit wandering into the wrong building. My name's Marcus Reed. I'm the special agent in charge for the FBI's Mid-Atlantic Division. And the building they thought I was trespassing in, it was the heart of a white-collar crime ring I'd been quietly tracking for months. The day had started like any other field recon, late afternoon sun sliding down behind the glass towers of downtown Harbor View. Atlas Corporate Plaza, 30 stories of polished stone and mirrored windows, looked like any other fortress for the rich. I parked my unmarked sedan, adjusted my tie, and walked in with the same calm I've had in every undercover job. No badge showing, no jacket screaming FBI, just another well-dressed man who belonged. 15 years in financial crimes taught me that the first step to catching a crook isn't kicking in the door, it's walking through it without anyone noticing. So I took my time, catalogued the camera angles, tested door access points, noted which security doors didn't quite latch. Quiet work. Until the guy in the security booth decided my skin tone didn't match his picture of belongs here. I didn't notice him at first, but he noticed me every move. Name tag said, B. Carter, mid-50s, white shirt stretched over a gut he was proud of. You know the type, calls himself old school, but it's just code for I decide who's trouble. 20 minutes into my sweep, I hear the faint click of his radio. He's whispering about a suspicious male black expensive suit acting like he's casing the place. I keep moving, making notes on my encrypted phone. It's almost funny he's narrating my every step like I'm some National Geographic predator on the hunt. I'm on the 14th floor when the elevator dings behind me. Doors open and 3 cops step out. The lead guy, stocky with a crew cut, plants himself between me and the stairwell. Police. Stop right there. I turn slowly, hands chest-high, palms out. Evening, officers. Is there a problem? Building security says you've been wandering restricted floors for half an hour. Let's see some ID. I'm going to reach for my wallet. I say slow and steady. Slowly, Crewcut barks, thumb flicking his holster open. Carter steps out of the elevator behind them, puffed up like he just caught John Dillinger. That's him. Doesn't have clearance for executive floors. I hand over my license. Crewcut ignores the federal credentials sitting right behind it. He studies my address, then smirks. Care to explain why you're photographing security cameras and exits? It's part of my assessment, I say carefully. Assessment of what? That's not something I can discuss. Wrong answer for a man who thinks he's in charge. Next thing I know, they've got me marching toward the lobby, Carter calling out loud enough for everyone to hear. Security threat neutralized, folks. People look up from their laptops. Some start recording. I keep my face calm, making damn sure those cameras catch every second. Outside, away from the crowd, Crewcut, his badge says Thompson, leans in. Don't come back here. Next time you'll be in cuffs. Is that a threat, I ask, or are you just banning me for being black in a building I have every right to be in? His jaw tightens. Trespass again, and we'll see how friendly it goes. That night in my hotel room, I called my boss, told him exactly what went down. His first question, do we postpone the operation? No, I said. We expand it. Next morning, I walked through those same glass doors, this time in my FBI windbreaker badge, gleaming on my chest, a dozen agents at my back. We had federal warrants for 3 companies operating out of the tower. Carter froze at the monitor's coffee cup halfway to his mouth. Thompson showed up minutes later, still tucking his shirt in, and stopped dead when he saw me directing agents through his precious building. "Mr. Carter," I said evenly, "we'll need full access to all floors and the security footage from last night." His face flushed. Some of the cameras might be down. Attempting to destroy evidence in a federal investigation is a felony, I reminded him. An agent was already heading to the security office to pull the backups. The building's owner, Richard Halverson, strutted in, not long after all silver hair and old money confidence, until he saw my warrant. "This is outrageous," he sputtered. I kept my voice cool. "We're investigating securities fraud and money laundering involving companies you own." And I added, turning just enough for Carter and Thompson to hear a concurrent investigation into civil rights violations based on last night's events. The room went dead quiet. Over the next 2 weeks, the dominoes fell hard. Halverson's administrative errors turned out to be a $68 million Ponzi scheme. Carter's security reports showed 17 calls to police in the past year, all about people of color, none resulting in charges. Thompson's body cam footage revealed he'd ignored my credentials and escalated without cause, a pattern other officers quietly confirmed. Carter was suspended, then fired. Thompson got pulled off duty pending investigation. Halvorsen had his assets frozen, his investors lining up to testify. And me, I kept working both cases because they were never separate. The profiling wasn't just about prejudice. It was a shield keeping certain people away from certain floors where certain crimes were happening. By the time the case hit federal court, we had more than enough. Halvorsen was denied bail. Thompson was fired and faced civil rights charges. Carter, well, last I heard, he was working night shift in a warehouse a long way from any security booth. 6 months later, the Atlas building had new owners, new staff, and a plaque in the lobby about equal access. I didn't let them put my name on it. This was never about me. It's about walking into a building and not being judged before you open your mouth. About the people who don't have a badge to flash when someone decides they don't belong. About making sure the next Marcus Reed doesn't have to choose between protecting an investigation and protecting himself. So now I'll ask you, if you saw what happened that night, would you have stepped in? Or would you have just watched, maybe pulled out your phone and thought, "It's not my problem"? Because here's the thing, if it can happen to the head of an FBI division, it can happen to anybody, and the only way it stops is if more people decide it is their problem. Now tell me in the comments, what do you think was worse here? The profiling, the fraud, or the way they fed off each other? And have you ever seen something like this happen in your own life?